So, are you recording it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, first we'll introduce Carol Kramer. She's my grandma, so you can say hi, Grandma.
Hi.
Okay. My first question is about ageism. Have you ever heard of ageism before?
No.
Okay, ageism means prejudices and stereotypes that are applied to older people sheerly on the basis of age. And so people can be like stereotyped for being old and things like that. And sometimes treated poorly and treated as if they're just like, people will say like, oh, some old person and
Right.
all these stereotypes. So I was wondering if you think that you've ever experienced that before.
Not really.
Oh, that's good. All
I
right.
don't think so. I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't had a job in a while.
Yeah,
So,
true.
you
Not
know.
just in the workplace though, in any situation or in
situation.
healthcare. Yeah. Well, that's
Okay.
good though. All right. And my next question is, what do you think is the biggest challenge that you've had with aging?
Okay. I was very busy when
Yeah.
I was younger because I was raising a family and had a lot of challenges, you know. And as you get older, you just don't have the challenges that you have when you're younger. So sometimes you feel kind of, you know, like you're not really useful.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's the biggest problem that elderly have,
Yeah.
not having a real purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what
Yeah.
I've encountered. Yeah.
Is there anything you do that makes you feel better about that, or that makes you feel like you are doing something purposeful?
Well, I should volunteer more, you know, and I had volunteered for things,
Mhm.
but none of it's very important. Let's
Yeah.
put it that way. And so I just don't feel like there's anything I can offer.
Yeah.
You know, I can't really do much because I'm handicapped physically.
Yeah.
Because you can't go do laundry and
Yeah.
take care of little kids and all
Yeah.
that stuff that you need. You know, that older people are useful at. But you get to older age, like in the 80s, and that's when people just don't even want you to do that. You know, because they're afraid.
Afraid that you'll
Afraid
get hurt.
Yeah, or that their kids get hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just think that that's part of ageism.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
but
so.
I
Yeah.
think that's pretty normal, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think you're very purposeful as my grandma. I
Okay.
find a lot of good in you being my grandma. Okay. And what about a pro of aging, or the best part of aging that you've experienced?
Oh, I've seen your kids grow up and turn
Mhm.
into really good people, and
Mm-hmm.
and your grandchildren, same thing. You know, they're just a delight to
Yeah.
have, and you look to see how well they do,
Mm-hmm.
and that's part of the big benefits
Yeah.
of getting old.
Yeah. All right. And what about, so you were a nurse, so
Yes.
this kind of can apply to this class where other people maybe can't. And what years were you a nurse? About?
57. I went into nursing school and graduated in 60,
Okay.
and got married, and I worked at Firm de Loge Hospital right out of school, and then I worked at I had a baby, and I came back and I worked in labor and delivery at DePaul part-time, and then I started staying home, you know, because it got to be too much. My husband's job was very demanding, and he wasn't, you know, home that much. He had to travel. So there was several years that I just didn't work, you know. I used to do volunteer nursing up at school, and that was all volunteer. They have school nurses now, but they didn't at that time.
Oh, okay.
So we did all the hearing and vision tests. We didn't actually do the hearing, but we set it up. And scoliosis check for chest scoliosis, and like I say, set up for a hearing test, and we did the vision. We did those ourselves. But anyway, it was fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. And,
Good.
so I still had my finger in it, but not in a money,
In a hospital.
not in the money.
Yeah, volunteer.
Right, it's all
Yeah.
volunteer. So then after I had my last baby, I went back to work. I just thought if I didn't go back, I probably never would, and I wanted to get back into it. And so I worked at St. John's in the with the moms after they had the baby.
Oh, okay.
Postpartum. Worked there for about 7 or 8
Mhm.
years. Okay. And then after that was getting kind of crazy at St. John's, it was a lot of C-sections
Oh.
because it was high risk
Yeah.
moms. And so then I thought, this friend of mine worked at Bethesda Dilworth with the elderly. And she said, Carol, why don't you come over here? She said, we don't have to do a lot of charting. And that was
That's
the thing.
nice.
It was getting charting.
Yeah.
You know, they wanted you to chart everything.
Yeah.
And we also went to computers. We were
Oh,
the first
okay.
floor to go to computers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so that was a challenge too. But I did that. It just was. Didn't feel safe anymore
Oh, okay.
because it was so busy.
Yeah.
That you just started feeling that you couldn't stay safe.
Yeah.
So anyway, I left St. John's and went to Bethesda Dilworth, and I don't know how many years I worked there. But I liked working with the elderly, and you charted if something happened, you know,
Mhm.
you would chart. But other than that, you
You
would
didn't
just
have to as much.
take care of the people.
So you worked with the elderly then?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, what do you have any sort of, or anything to say, or any tips about caring for aging patients, or anything that's different when you're caring for people who are aging?
Medications. I mean, I did treatments and passed meds, and I was in charge of like a team of aides that took care of the people, and it was your
Okay.
job to give them a report and tell them what to look for and to report anything to you
Okay.
that needed to be reported.
Yeah.
And that way you kind of, I mean, sometimes I'd have 20 to 24 patients,
Oh, wow.
but I had the aides
All the
that
aides.
would let me know,
Okay.
and they took care of
Yeah.
the patients, and I took care. I saw every one of them
Oh, okay.
because I had meds, and
Yeah.
so it was. I liked it. I really did like it. You
Are
know.
you
Yeah.
home?
Yes, I'm
When,
home.
when did you get home?